Reuben Owen has taken on a lot of projects over the years. Diggers, barns, ponds, farmhouses. But the one his team took on this year wasn't about money. And it wasn't about the business. It was personal. And it turned into something that genuinely mattered. To a whole community. And to a family going through the hardest thing imaginable. It started with an old, rusted motorbike. And it ended with over 2,500 pounds. And a conversation this country badly needs to have. Let me tell you the whole story. I want to walk you through what Reuben and his team did, why they did it, how his mom Amanda stepped in to back them, and what it raised in the end. It's one of the warmest things this family has been part of. And by the end, I think you'll see exactly why it mattered so much. Let's start with the lads. If you watch Life in the Dales, you'll know Reuben doesn't work alone. Alongside him are two young lads, Sonny and Capper, who've become a real part of the show and a real part of his world. And this year, those two set their sights on a project that had nothing to do with the day job. They wanted to find an old, rare, vintage motorbike, restore it from the ground up, and use it to raise money for men's mental health. Now, on the surface, that's a lovely idea. But you have to understand why two young men in farming would choose that cause specifically. Because farming and rural life, and being a young man in Britain, those things carry a weight that people don't talk about nearly enough. The isolation, the pressure, the unspoken rule that you're supposed to just get on with it and never say you're struggling. Sonny and Capper decided they weren't going to stay quiet about it. And what makes this story hit so hard is where the motorbike actually came from. The motorbike they restored, a classic BSA, wasn't just any old bike they found in a barn. It was donated by a family who had lost someone to suicide. I'm going to say that carefully because it deserves care. A family in the middle of their own grief chose to give this bike to Reuben's team so that something good could come from their loss, so that the restoration of an old machine could help make sure other families don't have to go through what they went through. Think about the courage in that, to take the hardest thing that can happen to a family and turn it outward into something that might help a stranger. That's not a small thing. That's one of the bravest things people can do. And it changed the whole project. This wasn't lads tinkering with a bike anymore. Every hour they spent on it, every part they cleaned up and rebuilt, was in honor of someone real. Someone loved, someone missed. The charity they chose to support was Andy's Man Club, an organization built around a simple, life-saving idea that men should be able to talk. That saying, "It's okay to not be okay" out loud, can be the thing that saves a life. And this is where Reuben's mom stepped in. When the project was coming together, Amanda Owen did something that tells you a lot about her. She posted about it publicly to her 500,000 followers, proud of her son and the lads, and pointed about it. She said she knew people sometimes throw around the term virtue signaling, dismissing this kind of thing as showing off. And she pushed straight back on that. She said what these lads were trying to do should not be kept low-key. Her words were that we've all been affected by these issues, and that awareness and open conversation are critical to preventing more tragic losses. That's a mother using her platform, the fame, the followers, all of it, to amplify something that actually matters. Not a brand deal. Not a photo of the farm, a men's mental health cause her son believed in, and she planted her flag on it and dared anyone to criticize. That's the thing about the Owens that keeps people loyal to them. When it counted, Amanda didn't stay quiet and safe. She used everything she'd built to lift up something bigger than herself. So, the bike was restored. The word was out. Amanda had the whole country watching, which brings us to the auction and the number that made it all real. The restored motorbike went to auction at Spicer's in Goole, with every penny going to the cause. And the community showed up. The bike alone raised over 1,400 pounds, and the wider fundraising effort around the project brought the total to over 2,500 pounds, around 2,500, all of it going toward men's mental health. Now, I know that in a world of million-pound headlines, 2,500 pounds might not sound like a fortune, but that's the wrong way to measure it, because that money isn't the point. The point is what it represents. It represents a family who turned unbearable loss into something good. Two young lads who refused to stay silent. A mother who used her fame for something that mattered. A community that opened its wallets and, more importantly, opened a conversation. And somewhere out there, maybe a man who was struggling saw all of this. Saw Reuben and Sonny and Capper, lads just like him saying it's okay to talk, and picked up the phone instead of going quiet. You can't put a number on that. £2,500 is just the part you can count. People love the Owen family for the farm. The sheep, the snow, the 9 kids, the beautiful remote life. And that's lovely, but this is the real reason they've earned the affection they have. Because when you strip away the television, what you've got is a family that shows up. Reuben grafts for his mum's renovation. Raven comes home for lambing. And when 2 of the lads wanted to do something hard and important, the whole family, led by Amanda, got behind them without hesitation. Reuben once said something about his parents that fits here. He said he's lucky to have his mum and dad, that they did such a good job raising all the kids, that he watched them graft for everything they had, and that's why he works hard too. That work ethic, that's showing up. It's the thing they pass down, and you can see it here, aimed at something that really counts. That's who the Owens are. Not just farmers on the telly, people who use what they've got to help other people. And in a story about young men and mental health, that example, lads who talk, a family who backs them, might be the most valuable thing of all. So the next time you see Reuben Owen on a digger, or Amanda out with the sheep, remember there's more to this family than the farm. There's a bike that a grieving family gave away so that something good could grow. 2 young lads brave enough to say the hard thing out loud. And a mother who refused to let it be kept quiet. That's the Owens at their very best. And if any of this touched something in you, if you're a man who's been struggling or you know one who is, please take the one lesson Sonny and Capper wanted you to take from all of it. It's okay to not be okay, and it's okay to talk. Andy's Man Club is there. The Samaritans are there day or night on 116123. Reaching out isn't weakness. It's the bravest thing a person can do. The family who donated that bike would tell you so. Take care of yourselves, look after each other, and I'll see you next time.